Okay, so I had to make a new video because I couldn't add this to the previous one, so I'm sorry about that. But it's a really short one. So this is instructions for the separate but together assignment that's included in this project. So what we need to do, and I apologize, that's my dog um, playing with her toy. So we want to go to Create New. And what I did starting out with, now I'm only using 2 images for this demo. I'm hoping that you use 3 or so. But I went and created a custom sized new, basically canvas. So I made it 10 inches by 4 at a resolution of 300. I chose white background and 16-bit. That's fine. And then hit create. And so what will open up is a new canvas. So what we need to do is get the different images and build them up on this canvas. So I need to file, open, and find the images I want to use, which are in this download. I'm going to see, I can kind of even see that this one's off. Do you guys see how that it's not on? So I'm going to choose this one and this one and this one, and I'm going to open those. And so this part is pretty simple. You just go to the marquee selection tool, rectangle marquee selection tool, start above the image, click and drag so that you include the entire image as your selection. Then go to move and click, hold the mouse down, the clicker down, open up this untitled new document, and then bring your cursor into it and let go. Now you can see by this my photograph is much bigger scale than what I have it scaled to. So I just grab a corner, bring it down, and the right now as I'm resizing this, the height and width are locked together. So I can't stretch or change the image size. So I'm just going to leave a little bit of a border on the left hand side, but fill in the top and the bottom. Okay, and then just click twice inside the image to kind of set that transformation. Then go to the next image. This one has my dad in it, and I click and I drag. And again, I'm going to click on the move tool, click and drag this one into this untitled new document and do the same thing. So it's not scaled properly. So I grab the corners, click and drag in, and that will resize it. I did it a little bit too much here. Now, like I said a second ago, I'm only using 2 images. I hope that you're using 3, and if you do a 10 by 4, there's plenty of space to put a third image here. Now, one thing I notice, I'm missing some of this table, and the table doesn't line up so bad, but the back of the couch is pretty good, and this is fine. It doesn't have to be perfect. And to get this lined up as well as it is took me 3 different times. So you might practice with 2 images before you move on to 3, or at least practice with something that is close to you so you can kind of work on your laptop to figure out if it's working. So that's the size I want it. So I'm going to double click on that. And then when you click out of the move tool, whatever tool you want to go to, it will remove those marching ants around it. Now, one thing I do notice is that this image has a different kind of color balance and density than this one. So I want to play with this to see how I can fix it. Now I'm going to click on, and also notice every time I brought a new image into this canvas, like this created a new layer for that image and then a second layer for this one. So I'm going to highlight the layer 1 because that's the one I want to manipulate. I'm going to go to levels, and you see how it created a levels layer in between layer 1 and 2. So here I can just play with my toggle. I just want to make it a little bit more dense like that. I haven't changed the color yet, but that's okay. And once I do that, I can hold down the, see how the finger comes up? And I'm working on a PC right now, so it's the Alt and then click, and what it'll do, it'll link that adjustment just to this one layer. So it's not affecting the other one. Now I can go to color balance, and it looks a little bit cyan. I want to make it a little bit warmer. So I want to move the blue and the yellows. I just don't know how far. I want to take a little bit of that blue out. And you see how it's starting to become a little bit warmer. It may not be as noticeable on your screen, but I can definitely see it here. And just small little movements. Okay. And then okay. And again, I want to link those into the layer below. So both of these are just impacting this first layer. Now I do want to go back. I'm going to go back into levels. Whoops. I need to click on, there we go. Click on the little circle, the adjustment, and see, I think I may have moved that a little too far. Yeah, there it goes. Okay, and so that has it. And then all I have to do now is crop and move this. Now I notice I'm on the ratio. These are empty. There's no numbers or pixels or any information, so that gives you the freedom to crop however you want. I'm just going to come in something like this. There you go. Double click inside and you can save it. So now this is again a 300 resolution, and it's not a bad thing to keep one that's quality to print. So I might go image, save, oops, edit. Sorry. File, save as, and name this like wide angle dad. Keep it as a Photoshop, and I'm going to put 300 ppi. I'm going to keep it as a Photoshop because it'll maintain all the layers and everything, and then click save. And so it's a bigger file. It's going to ask you if you want to take the maximum compatibility. Click OK. You can also click the don't show me that again option. And then now we're going to say we're going to change the image size for the internet, because remember it has to be 72 pixels per inch. So I want to maintain this size of the file, that's fine, but I want to change the resolution to 72. Okay, and then it shows me what it did. It made it smaller. And file, save as, and then I want to change this to a JPEG so that it uploads on our discussion, our Blackboard Ultra much easier. Okay. So click save. And I still have that's just a JPEG compression box. You OK out of that. And I still have the original 2 files that were left individual. So I haven't overridden any of them. I have a backup Photoshop file that maintains this. So if you see, I'll close that. We didn't make any changes, so I'm just going to close these. So if I go to open and I go to open this wide angle Photoshop file, you notice that the file format has changed. I double click that. You have to have Photoshop in order to open it. And see how everything is still loads with the Photoshop. So until you're totally done with something, you may want to always back up a Photoshop version of this. Okay, so let's see what you can come up with. Have fun, be creative, and I can't wait to see what you got.